pockets. Just look at my balance, more zeros, I'm about to double my racks. Look at my bank account, I'm about to get rich. Look at your bank account, tell me if you don't wish.
It is your boy, Underdog Crypto, aka Jay. I'm here with another cryptocurrency video. And folks, this is for me to assist you on our trajectory to blow up your bank accounts. Today, I have a cryptocurrency project that I've been telling you about, but I can't get into it yet. I gotta say something to you. I need to go ahead and bring this to your attention. You did it. The community has spoken. I asked for you to engage in the 3T movement. That was to the top. This is a movement that I am on with you on your financial journey. And I asked for you to compensate for the labor that we put into this platform, the knowledge, the research, by engaging with Indigo Saint and adding 1,000 extra views to his song To the Top, as he has been providing labor for us on this journey. And you did it. You reached the goal. And I want to thank every one of you. And I really mean that. I truly am appreciative. One thing we will learn, and I'm going to continue to teach you, not only today, but for these cryptocurrency projects, they are nothing without the communities that build them and help support them. Without community, there is no success. And people learn that the easy way or hard way. So I want to go ahead and tell you thank you. I have a lot I'm going to have in store for you because you have engaged, because you took your part, and I'm going to do that for you here. But I want to first say thank you for doing that. And we're going to continue to strive forward. Now let's get to this video. Folks, let me give you my disclaimer before we get started. You know that I am not a financial advisor, and this video was created under the Fair Use Act for educational purposes only and research. I am a certified instructor, certified digital currency investigator, a certified fraud examiner, certified expert in social media intelligence, certified expert in cyber investigations,
Master of Science in Digital Forensics Management. We'll place the hood on the graduate.
I'm a digital forensics scientist, currently pursuing my PhD in Technology and Innovation Management with a specialization in information systems. I do all of this to help you find the best cryptocurrency possible to help change your life. And if it so blows up your bank account, then you are welcome. Now, folks, we know we're going to talk about it today. We're going to talk, pull up a chair, get a notepad. Let's have a discussion about APE NFT. I'm going to get right down to it. But in order to get to it, we got to go back to the past in order to help you move forward to the future. I want you to check out this particular video. Note the date, note the time, note the message. Check this out, folks.
I told you we gon' take you to the top. Can't believe that Mr. Wonder Boy to flop.
Folks, if you haven't watched part 1, I need you to make sure you watch it. This is going to be one of the quickest videos you ever heard because I can't even get this information to you. At the time in which I started this video, it was actually on 5/9/2021 around 5 p.m. But I stayed up all night because there's some great things about to happen. I need you to listen to me right here. This is your opportunity. If you watch part 1, I told you about 2 coins, Telcoin, get the other 2 and consider getting those. If you don't, that's on you. This is not financial advice. Do you want to be wealthy this year? You need to look at these projects. I want you to look at is Shiba, INU. Folks, there is something great about to happen in both of these projects. If you don't like meme coins, it doesn't matter. That's on you. That's a personal decision. But I don't have biases based on if I like something or not. I look at the research and I tell you what the research showed me. And the research showed me that Shiba Inu is a winner. And yes, it's going to be very volatile. But you hold on to this coin, folks. Listen to me. Do not pump and dump yourselves. People will pump and dump. That's fine. Let them do it. I will give you the research later on this week, but this is in depth. It's going to take me days to get it, and we cannot wait. By the time you get this video, it will already be pumping. The noise will get you in a lot of trouble because it will make you miss opportunities. Don't worry about FUD. Listen to your boy Underdog Crypto, and I've already seen what it's going to do. So by the time you get this video, hit your boy back. Let me know if I was right. Check out those price points. Tell me if your boy Underdog Crypto steered you wrong. Tell me if your boy Underdog Crypto steered you wrong. Because of sake of time, I'm only going to talk about these two. I told people about this coin, Telcoin, in 2020. I told people in January of 2021. I told them again in February of 2021. In fact, I started a channel just so I could get the information because the choices I've made based on my research continue to net a lot of growth. And you know what? No one heard of the token. And what happened with Telcoin? You know what happened with it. It blew up your bank accounts. So then later on May 7th of the year, I told people about this token called Shiba Inu. I told people that it's not a normal one that I would research because it is at that time mostly focused on a meme-based token. But I saw something different in this token than other projects that were meme-based tokens. I saw community. I talked to my community about it before May 7th in the Telegram. And I said, I need to research this further. So I got a group together to look at that token. I got a lot of flack. Underdog Crypto, why are you talking about meme coins? Underdog Crypto and Shiba Inu in less than 8 months blew up your bank accounts. Now, I am not here to chase pumps. If you are here to chase pumps, please find a channel that can help support your need to chase a pump. This channel is for people who look at cryptocurrencies for what it is. It can go up, it can go down, but I look at every project for something viable for 3 to 5 years. If you're not willing to invest for 3 to 5 years in this project, no matter what project you're looking at, then you may want to find a influencer who can tell you about the latest pump token. I don't chase pumps, and you shouldn't either. The house always wins. But this is what I do. I give you research, and that's why I need you to pay attention to this token today, Ape NFT. Let's talk about it and let's work through it. I need you to follow me first. Let's talk about this token. If you look at Shiba example, here's a chart that shows you when I told you about this token. I told you about this token and it was around May. Now, I want you to see the price that happened with this token. The price surged from May 7th and onward, and it kept surging. Now, how far did it surge though? Well, the all-time high, October the 28th. Remember, I told you back when it had a low $1 million market cap. I'm talking about the low 300 millions. And in October 28, 2021, it hit its all-time high. Shiba, this token that people said, Underdog Crypto, why are you supporting this community-based token? And I said, I don't support any token. I do the research. That's up to you to decide if you support something or not. I can't FUD and I don't give shield. I just give you the research. That's what I'm doing. And I said, this is what I found, something different. The community helped to build this, and this will be great in a few months. And then on October 28th of 2021, you can see right there, you have the market cap and you have the volume, $32 billion, $37 billion. That's market cap and volume. That is according to Coin Market Cap. That's what it generated. That's what created wealth. Now, let that be an example, Telcoin, Shiba Inu. Let that be an example for something that had little value that no one paid attention to. It wasn't hyped up, but the research led me to that conclusion. It's not my opinion. I give you it for you to research. Do your own research. That's what it means, but people don't want to do that. This token, I'm giving you the opportunity by providing my labor to give you the research that I found. I don't have no dog in this fight. I want to help you, to help yourself, to put yourself in a position. So that's why we have to talk about APENFT, because I see something very similar. I want you to check out this video before we get started and deep dive APENFT.
Underdog Crypto, APENFT. Many have not heard of this token, yet it's already done great things since its release. In fact, it's already gained over 13,264% gains, and in June it had a magnificent spike. It was their airdropping campaign event, which is not over yet. It's coming again. If you hold APENFT tokens and additionally are on an exchange that participates, you will also receive this airdrop. This catalyst happens again in 2 days. If you're on one of these exchanges and hold NFT, they participate in this event. This token may have some real potential. Check out APENFT before the next airdrop to see what it's all about. Catch all of my full-length research videos on cryptocurrency projects on YouTube, #Underdog Crypto.
That was July the 8th of 2021. We're in 2022 now, folks. I told you about this in July. I said you need to keep your eye on this token. Now, let me tell you a little bit more about this APENFT, but I can't just be like everyone else. I'm not built that way. I need you to understand how I apply research, real research, and how I come up to some of the things that I come up with. I want you to pay attention to this. This is a book that you should look at some point if you want to. And it's called Untangling the Ecological Complexity, the Macroscopic Perspective by Brian Maurer. Now, what does it have to do with APENFT? Well, it's what the words and this research. This is the book. And let me read this quote from this book. And this is going to tie this into my research. Communities on small spatial and temporal spaces or scales. Humpty Dumpty told Alice, when I use a word, it means just what I choose it to mean. Neither more nor less, irrespective of how other people use the word community. And there are almost as many uses as there are ecologists. I use it here to mean any set of organisms currently living near each other and about which it is interesting to talk. The question is not whether such communities exist, but whether they exhibit interesting patterns about which we can make generalizations. R.H. MacArthur, 1971. Now, you're saying, Underdog Crypto, what does this have to do with APENFT? This is how I research, folks. This is applied research. So if you want to understand the methodology of how I go through, then you have to understand this space is not just looking at technical analysis. You got to apply other factors in your research, and I'm using the ecology right here for you to look at. Now, this is what was quoted. I'm going to read this 2 paragraphs, and then we're going to dive into this and see how I applied this to the research after I did my research on this particular project. Human activities fundamentally alter global processes, such as biochemical cycles, leading to drastic changes in the functioning of ecosystems important to human activities. Ecological science has an urgent responsibility to help society respond to changes it has wrought upon the earth. Much of that responsibility lies in providing appropriate guidance about how to preserve biological diversity. Community ecology, that branch of ecology that deals with association among species within ecosystems, has much to offer in providing the guidance. Together with population ecology and biogeography, community ecology seeks to understand the mechanisms that cause communities to change, the answers to the question. This is the task that I address in this book. Ecosystems are complex, but I assume that they are not so complex as to prevent scientists from untangling some of that complexity. As Darwin realized long ago, the complexity observed within the entangled bank cannot be attributed entirely to chance. Although there are certainly some elements of certainty in the outcomes of events that lead to that complexity, if these outcomes are not entirely due to chance, then there must be regular, deterministic processes that also contribute to what happens in an ecological system. The challenge of community ecology is to identify that subset of events occurring in an ecosystem that can attribute to the predictable, deterministic processes involving populations of species and their interactions with one another. Now, that was a lot. That was a mouthful, but you need to understand it, because you're not going to understand it if I just simply tell you I looked at technical analysis, because I didn't. I go further in my research. Now, what it's talking about is how we create communities and ecosystems and how that affects our environment. Changes to the environment affects communities. Communities affect the environment. Just like you don't know every day, if you look at, this is a Darwin quote, how many times ant colonies have killed other ant colonies. You don't pay attention to it because in your mind, that is not something you're going to pay attention to. But to that ant, they pay attention to it. Thousands of species die, live every day, and they change that outcome. Now, this is where we're at. We're here, and we're in a place where we have a pandemic. We're in a place where now things have moved and shifted. A lot of it by force because of the pandemic. Some is technological changes because of the speed in which it moves. But regardless, we have to account for this shift. Things will never be the same. They're not going back. Now, because of that, it has affected the environment, the community, and those ecosystems and the subsets, those things that make up the ecosystems, are going to be affected based on this scientific review of that particular topic. Now, let's talk about this and why that's important. This is an article about TRON and what TRON has done. In order to talk about APENFT, we need to talk about the ecosystem it's on, and that's the TRON network. So let me play this for you, and I want you to check out what you will find in this. This is an article from December 7th, 2021. Let me go ahead and go over it. It says, TRON carves out a space in the metaverse, building an ecological complex in Cryptovoxels. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But let's talk about this piece. If you see here where I've highlighted, it says Justin Sun's TRON, and that was the former CEO of TRON for many years, has made its mark on the metaverse, creating what it says is the first ever ecological complex in the space. And I'm going to talk about ecological complexes, but I want to make sure that I go through this because this is very important. Now, it has a headquarters in this metaverse, convention, a club, a digital art museum, which is APENFT. Now, look at this. The TRON complex was built in Cryptovoxels virtual world in partnership with the digital real estate platform provider MetaEstate. Cryptovoxels is an Ethereum-powered metaverse that allows users to buy land and build stores and art galleries using cryptocurrency. Now, that's important. Make sure you pay attention to these details because this is going to be a part of this live that I'm going to be giving you right now. This information is connecting the dots so you can see this. Now, TRON worked with MetaEstate's digital architects to recreate this carbon copy of its physical world. Now, this real-world complex that's based in the east coast of Miami, Florida, United States, is a part of this metaverse and I showed you that in my previous video where I said it was geolocated in Miami, Florida. Now, Cryptovoxels TRON complex, this is what it has, 4 different buildings. So you got the TRON headquarters, the BT Convention Club, which actually exists in real life. Now, APENFT Art Museum, and that's going to be the focus right now, but you do need to connect the dots with the TRON, as well as Sun Temple. That's something else we need to talk about at a later time, is located on the opposite side of this landscape. Now, this is the 3-story TRON headquarters. I brought you through that. You saw pieces of that when I showed you in my earlier video. But this is physical office space that actually exists. Now, why is this important? Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. The real star, the show, a perfect fit for Cryptovoxels Metaverse, is TRON's APENFT Digital Art Museum, which only exists in the virtual world. This Ape NFT Foundation exists to showcase the work of some of the crypto world's most prominent digital artists. Now, this is the part that separates it from everything else, is this. The most prominent digital artist is currently displaying creations from the winners of its recent Second Life public contest, which invited artists to imagine a high-tech, highly connected future metaverse with deep human connectivity. Now, Ape NFT, which I went through that, you saw that, had 2 floors. And the first level was the reception area. And the second level, we saw the artwork. And we only saw a little bit of it. Now, these are customized for various different exhibits that you can see there. Now, Ape NFT Foundation is one of the most influential players in the emerging NFT space. Let's read that again for the people in the back. Ape NFT Foundation is one of the most influential players in the emerging NFT space that many believe will grow to become a, listen to this, folks, multi-trillion-dollar market with the presence of social media giant Facebook and others. I said in my previous video, I have to retract it. Now, when I read this multi-trillion-dollar market statement, I thought it had to be a typo. Now, I showed you that a little bit about this. I said multi-billion dollars. When I went back, I wanted to see why it said multi-trillion-dollar market right here, folks. You can go check this out for yourself. Now, this article, again, was published December 7th, 2021, and it's by Stan Peterson. And I'm clicking on his name, so you might be able to see Stan Peterson's work. But this is who Stan Peterson is. He's an active participant in blockchain world. He always looks forward to engage with opportunities where he can find and share love towards digital transformation. Now, looking at what Stan Peterson said, we're going to talk about this multi-trillion-dollar market and why you need to look at Ape NFT immediately, TRON, and the other portions of this ecosystem. And we're going to bring it together. So I wanted you to see that.
So you saw there, and I want you to imagine here. Here we go. I want you to imagine here with me. This is where we're at. This is the reality of where we're at. I showed you in my videos that the Web 3.0, the metaverse, the thing that people continue to discuss, is like going back to the 90s and telling someone about the thing called internet and them saying, oh, that's never going to do anything. Look what happened 20 years later, how we progressed. So you're here during a pandemic. The ecosystem, the communities have changed. We're locked in. We saw Netflix skyrocket. We should have foresaw Netflix skyrocketing, streaming services, but we didn't have the vision, some of us, so we didn't get into that project. So you're here in the Ape NFT metaverse. You are looking online, and TRON has created a low-cost way for you to shop. It's for you to listen to music, for you to sit back and watch your favorite movies, shows. But most importantly, this particular Ape NFT is about fine art. Now, how has fine art performed? Well, throughout history, we see how fine art has performed. When they burn down buildings in our historical United States history, we see that the first thing they try to do is save the art. People have so much culture into fine arts that we don't look at it as something that's expendable. Now, you're in the Ape NFT network, and it's not something you can say it's a concept. A lot of these businesses are talking about the concept. This is real. I showed you. You can click on it. In Cryptovoxels, you can go there right now, and you can go and explore the metaverse, and I showed you that. So you're there, and you see a Picasso. You see a Andy Warhol, and you decide you want to participate in buying it because you have that type of money. We're not talking about anybody. We're talking about the people who have money to spend on fine art, the 5%ers. You're going to buy it online to have a digital representation so you can show your people your digital art that's fine. You have a Picasso in your house.
It's not far-fetched anymore to think that this is where we're at. This is where we're at. Now, let's see though. They said multi-trillion dollars. And I told you what I read before about how the economy is changing. Our ecosystems are changing. The pandemic is changing things. Now, let's put this to the test. Now, currently on 1/5/2021, this is APENFT's market cap. At the time in which this video was done, it was at 741 million market cap. Now put that large arrow to point to it, and that's where we're sitting. Now let's go through that. They said multi-trillion dollars. Let's see if that holds up to the scrutiny of research. So they're talking about everything. So I'm focused on the fine art piece. On July 20th to September the 5th, 2021, in 6 weeks and 5 days, this project NFT went from its all-time low to its all-time high. Look at that return ROI, 3,615% total ROI. Now, the all-time low on July 20th, look at that, .0000148. And the all-time high in 6 weeks was 0.0000764, and it's down 64%. And this thing just opened up in May of that year. So May, June, July, by July 20th, it's already skyrocketing. Now, looking at this from the numbers perspective, that week that it skyrocketed, remember, it skyrocketed all-time high on September the 5th, the week of September 5th of 2021, all-time high. Just look at the first day. So the very first day, which is highlighted in burgundy at the bottom right, the volume for that day was $80 million. The market cap was $50 million. By September the 5th, that volume went up, and that is 4 days, folks, all the way up to $630 million, and the market cap was 107 million. That means it doubled market cap and the volume way more than that. Now you can see it right there. So looking further at the numbers, what does that mean? Now this was in the last 24 hours. At the time in which I did this video, KuCoin had the least amount of volume on this token, the least amount, and it brought in $401,000. Well, interestingly, today on 1/6/2022, the volume was over $2 million in 1 hour when I looked at it earlier this morning. But that's not the total point. I want you to look at Huobi Global. Huobi Global, on the same day, this is within the last 48 hours, it had a $53 million on this one view. $53 million. Now, this token is bringing in large amounts of money. Now, we're going to talk about that, but I want you to see the connectivity. If I showed you earlier about Shiba, when I talked about it, it had a low $300 million market cap. And you saw that in a matter of months, it went to billions. So if you look at it and you say, oh, well, it already has a high market cap, you're forgetting your lessons that we continue to learn. Stop trying to use outdated methodologies, such as only looking at technical analysis, to assume a market. You didn't see what happened with Netflix. We didn't see that. But you could have seen that with Shiba. You could have seen that with Telcoin. You can see that with APENFT. There's so much to this token, I can't even get it all to you in this conversation. I wanted you to see that right now, you need to be doing your research. You need to look at this for the long term. Some things don't rocket ship. Some things crawl their way to the top. This one has already shown you in 6 weeks and 5 days. You could have made, if you had $100,000 in there, you could have had $500,000. If you had $10,000, you could have had $100,000 in 6 weeks. Where could you find that opportunity at your work? You're not. The community, the ecosystem, the ecology that I try to tell you about, That's why I brought that piece in here. That's what I saw with Shiba. And I see it here, but I see that at a different level. With Shiba, its use case is still being worked through. It still will be utilized in some ways in a lot of different ventures. People are taking on and adopting Shiba. But with this, the use case is very clear up front. Fine art. Now, let's go a little further. Let me play this for you. This is another article about this token. Check this out. And this is entitled Tron Enters the MegCryptoPolis Metaverse. And let's go through this really quickly. Blockchain network TRON is poised to be reborn inside of the first metaverse, courtesy of MegCryptoPolis, an interactive city that lives on the blockchain. Users will be able to visit the Sun Tower, and that's another crypto I'll talk about, aptly named after Tron's founder, Justin Sun, or formerly known as Justin Sun. He no longer is the CEO, but we'll talk about that too. Now, TRX, Tron's native cryptocurrency, among other things, the integration of Tron into MegCryptoPolis further demonstrates the appeal of NFTs, which are ideally suited for Tron's blockchain, which allows for fast and cheap transactions and interactions. Now, this is what I want you to get to. The first metaverse with an NFT marketplace. The Sun Tower is the first metaverse with a full-fledged NFT marketplace that gives users the ability to create their own NFTs. Having been a development since 2018, the Sun Tower boasts incredible attention to detail and serves as an example of what's possible in a virtual metaverse. Tron users can do things like purchase land plots or districts like TRX cryptocurrency. District owners can interact with the metaverse and the secondary market. This is important. Make sure you pay attention to that. Or use it to generate passive income. And you can even get a full virtual view of Tron creator Justin Sun's virtual office inside of Sun Tower. Now, the players in this metaverse can trade on the open market, produce resources that other buildings need to operate, and get a share of funds distributed every day by MegCryptoPolis. Now, the rise of this NFT market is at the moment this is a good thing for Tron. So these cryptocurrency blockchains cannot be counterfeited, they can't be replicated, and are permanently provable and owned. Now, although these traits like NFTs are highly popular and have become go-to ways to secure the digital assets and numerous other forms of value, even popular influencers are calling NFTs bigger than the internet. Now, we're going to be seeing large corporations such as NBA generating millions of dollars in a year using these NFTs, and they're going to be fueling a boom of digital art. Now, that digital art piece, we need to talk about the levels of this digital art, why Tron is poised for this. Now, also, it needs to be represented about real world assets such as real estate, music rights. Let's run that one back for the people in the back. Music rights and other forms of fractional ownership. So we're going to talk about fractional ownership as well. There's so much to this. Now, let's talk about accelerating in the future with this thing. The NFT market has grown from $30 million in 2017 to $300 million by the end of 2020, and there's no signs of it going to go down. Now, in the future, Tron is pushing the envelope for these decentralized solutions like Just Swap and Just Lend. So we're going to talk about that Just Swap, Just Lend, which is token name JST, which I haven't discussed yet, but that's important. And they're going to be integrating them into this experience. And this will allow you and the users to enjoy the best of both NFTs and the decentralized finance have to offer. Now, Tron's dedication to accelerating this decentralization on the internet through blockchain technology and DeFi applications is apparent with its first NFTs courtesy of the MegCryptoPolis. Now, Tron were formed in 2017 and achieved a network independence in 2018, and they acquired BitTorrent. So these are huge clues to move us toward the overall research about this project. One of the largest cryptocurrencies in the world by market cap at 3.45 billion. Did you hear all of that? So I have to run this back. Let's talk about the district owners. Let's talk about the music NFTs, the fractional ownership. Let's talk about that. Let's talk about the Just Lend. Now, I can't give it all to you right now. There's so much to this project, but let me bring up three things. Let me go back. I got to run it back because you got to understand. I've been telling you when I told you about the Oculus project. I said, guys, girls, listen to your boy in our crypto. I and the other members of the Crypto Intelligence Committee did releases about this project. We talked about it. If you had gotten that project beforehand, and we're only talking about the token, it went from a couple of cents and all the way up to $6. Now, when it released, it was 15 cents and it still went up. It's all right now like $2.36. Could you imagine it just having that foresight? But see, if you limit yourself to that, you're going to miss the boat. That's why I told you about Indigo saying that's a community member. So just imagine with me, walk with me. Let me grab it again. Walk with me back to the metaverse. Come with me. You want to learn about this cryptocurrency project? You got to keep up, folks. Let's go. So you're here in the metaverse. I went out there. I can buy land right now in TRON. Right now, they have that Cryptovoxels. I saw the land. It's on OpenSea. They also have auctions for it. Now, let's say I buy a plot of land. I saw one in Hawaii. It cost $7,500. That's pretty cheap for that particular land. Yes, virtual real estate. Now, when you saw, I had a concert inside there. You saw, look at the last video. You can listen to Indigo sing. You saw the museum. Now, we have an artist right here, Indigo Saint. Now, you walk into that. And Indigo Saint says, hey, I tell you what I'm going to do. Not only can you come here, I do a virtual concert so you can actually listen to the music no matter where I'm at in the world. Instead of you just buying a song on Spotify and not get anything back, what if I give you some of the ownership too? What if you can trade my NFTs? Now, you're afraid to get involved with that because it's new. Just like people look at us and say, why are you in cryptocurrency? It's digital currency. It don't mean anything. It's worthless because they don't have foresight. Don't be that person stuck in only own a token. The Oculus token wasn't the only opportunity. So putting it back on part, TRON is saying, look, if I own this land, I can control the marketplace in my area. I'm a district owner. I'm a mayor. You walked into the place. We saw Indigo saying, you saw me doing that little, you saw that, my little avatar. You saw that? I was dancing to Indigo Saint in that particular dance museum. Now, we could have talked and interacted. In fact, Underdog Crypto community, we can get there. We can hold meetings. We can have these videos through virtual reality. And if you don't have a VR headset, you can see it on your computer. And you can interact the same way, only a better experience with the VR headset. And you can watch a concert and you can own a piece of that music and get royalties. That's what they're talking about. Now, they're not talking about royalties right now, but the fractionalized ownership, owning a piece of a Picasso, owning a piece of someone's copyrights. That's what they was talking about, applying that. You don't have to talk about if they can do it. We saw they can do it. They're doing it. It's alive. It's active. Now, the only question is, do you think it's an opportunity? Do you think that that's going to be big? Underdog Crypto does, because I see the writing on the wall. Now, getting back to the Just Lend aspect, but we have to stay focused. Now, in that piece, it's going to talk about how you can make money off your tokens. And I want to make you expand your knowledge. Let's first focus on APENFT's core, which is the fine art. So if you want to compare apples and oranges, this is like comparing LeBron James, if you know who that is, or Michael Jordan, to a high school basketball player. Now, maybe the high school basketball player is great in the GOAT, but those two gentlemen have proven themselves in the highest level of competitiveness. So look at the fine art NFTs differently than just an NFT art. They are looking for the best of the best. That's the trade. So now I'm focused on that. So let's see what the stats say. Now, according to the statistics that I've found, from 2013 to 2020, the total online sales of art and antique markets worldwide, antiques and fine art, was $3 billion. In fact, it was $3,100,000,000. That is in that time frame of 2013. 3 billion worldwide. Now, as soon as 2020 hit, you see a continual progression. If you can see this chart, you can see from 2013 they had 3 billion, and then in 2020, where these statistics cut off at, is 12,400,000,000 in online. Focus on that, folks. Online art antiques. Now, I told you earlier that you have to use applied logic, and that applied logic is untangling the ecological complexity of this token and all of these cryptocurrencies. I've looked at this token. The research is there for you to look at, but untangling how these affect our ecosystems. Remember, according to this, what does it say there? It says that the community ecology, that branch ecology that deals with the associations among species with ecosystems, has much to offer in providing this guidance. Human activities fundamentally alter global processes. This is what we're looking at. How the world events affect the communities, that affects the subset. That subset is our environment and how we interact. The metaverse is the logical conclusion to our current situation. You think the pandemic is real or not? That is not the conversation. The reality is the governments are reacting to that, and we are in a state where we're here, not able to interact like we have been able to for a very long time. People still are social people. They need interaction. So the metaverse provides a synthetic way to get that interaction. Now, we're going to talk about, we heard BitTorrent. See, the underlying token is a NFT, but the engine is BitTorrent. So if the ecosystem of APENFT is going to be viable, then BitTorrent, which TRON acquired, is getting the NFTs to their destination, the transactions, in a secured manner. And check out BitTorrent. They're not playing any games. They are changing and want to, in their own words, dominate this market. And they're the first movers on a lot of this. This is why you can go see an active, viable marketplace right now. They already are built in ways for you to own land, sell in a market, and a secondary market. That's like OpenSea and other markets from there. They're creating a marketplace. Now, I'm going to conclude this video here shortly, but I want those who might have been playing video games at some point in their life to remember that one game, and I'm going to remind you, it's called Age of Empires and Clash of Clans. Now, they were very popular several years ago. I played Age of Empires, Clash of Clans. And if you're really over 30 something, you might remember Oregon Trail. Do you remember that? Oregon Trail is back in the 80s or 90s, one of the two. But regardless, whether it's Age of Empires, Clash of Clans, or Oregon Trail, they were games about ecosystems. You would build a plot, you'll put a barrier around it, you'll build your house, you needed resources, and people would try to take your resources. You have to defend it with things. You remember that? How much fun and how addictive it was? Well, instead of it being a game, how about it be real? You create a space on this metaverse. You own real life land, or you rent an apartment, whatever you do, but you buy space there. Right now, they have several partners where you can put your NFTs. You control your market. You can sell things in your market. And you can connect to other markets. And you know what? Facebook is connected to Cryptovoxels. I saw that as I logged in, I said anonymous, but I can even log in with Facebook and have my online identity connect to that. This is huge. Ape NFT is not a token you need to look at and say to yourself, well, the price is inexpensive. I don't care how inexpensive the project is. That's a win for you. What I care about is for you to take the research and say to yourself, do I own anything that will put me in the same position to win in the next 3 to 5 years? Now, I don't think you'll have to wait 3 to 5 years, but I don't chase pumps. So I put myself in a position to win. That's why I win. Bear market, bull market, I continue to win. All I want to do is help you to win too. Now, to add to this, we got to talk more, but I'm not going to do it today because Rome wasn't built in a day, and the crypto world and the metaverse isn't either, but things are moving fast. You got to read, you got to do the research, or at least pay attention and make a decision. If you're going to be in it for pumps and dumps, that's on you. But this platform doesn't adhere to that type of mentality. My subscribers are collectively always looking at to expand their knowledge, and we took our intellect and we work together to learn, and that's what our community does. And that's what we're building here. This is the 3T movement. The 3 T's. 3T. To the top movement. Now, I'm going to talk in the future videos because you engage with your boy Underdog Crypto, show love to Indigo Saint, and I'm going to continue to engage with you. I'm going to talk about the decentralized games they have. TRON. I'm going to talk about that. APENFT. But I'm going to talk about this one too. I have just gotten started looking into this even deeper. Now, right now, I'm just giving you notification about it. I haven't done my due diligent research on this project, but it's called Just. Now, let me tell you what this is. Just has this project, and this is a part of TRON called Just Lend, TRON's official lending platform. Now, let me tell you what they do, and then I'm going to move on. Very quickly, imagine you got your money, right? In crypto, it's digital currency. You're always asking, how can I use this money? Well, what they say is send your TRON tokens to them. They're on a TRON network, and stake them. And right now it fluctuates between 12%, 11%, but the value of your tokens, and they'll let you borrow from there. Now, we just so happen to have someone called the Professor, which is a accountant, and also has released several books on NFTs, Metaverse. So one of the things that you might think about is this a way that I can get assets and access to money that I would use in real world scenarios? Because aren't there some ways that you can get a loan? Don't the rich sometimes take out loans instead of taking their money out to avoid taxation? Now, I'm not saying that I'm a financial advisor, and I'm not giving financial advice. I'm not even telling you that that's what you should do. However, one of the things that is common knowledge that there are a lot of ways that the wealthy borrow money instead of cashing it out. This is why Facebook, their CEO, Zuckerberg, takes $1 for his salary. Why? It's a way to avoid taxes. It's not because it's out of the good of their heart. A lot of these major CEOs make a lot of money, are filthy rich, but they do different legal tactics in order to save. Now, Just Lend on this TRON network is one that I'll look at, and it also allows you to put your tokens there instead of just staking it and going up and down. You can borrow from it. That's real world USDT. Then go buy some more stuff. Wouldn't that work for you? How many times have you missed a pump that you want to get in, but you don't have enough money or access to it? Your crypto can be that collateral. That's something that they already have built in right now. So that is just the name of the truth. And now we got another one. We see this. They have some NFTs, partnerships. Now I went out They're just getting started. Are these NFTs going to be valuable? Maybe very valuable. You see how the Ape NFTs are doing. Millions of dollars are being sold for different NFTs. Why not these? Why? The same reason why that people traded baseball cards and NBA cards. Garbage Pail Kids, Cabbage Cats kids. Why? Because that's the digitalization. That's technology. That's the innovation. The same reason why we went from typewriters and corrective tape, if you're old enough to understand what corrective tape is for a typewriter, you know what I'm saying, to word processors on those typewriters, to finally we have PCs, personal computers. So this is the evolution of technology, and it's not a theory. They have a working model. Ape NFT is one that you don't want to miss out on. You want to take a look at this. Folks, that is all I have. Now, I won't have time today to go through a lot of questions, but I want you to put your questions together for me. I want you to look at all the videos because I'm not going to let this one go. I'm going to help you get that 3T if it kills me. All right, we're going to the top. Now, next, we're going to need to talk about this music NFTs. Indigo Saint is the example. The reason I'm laboring very hard to make sure that you are interacting. I'm going to teach you how to buy NFT. We'll buy Indigo Saint's NFT. We're going to download it. We're going to learn how to trade. We are going to be interactive with our wealth. We're not going to sit around and allow things to pass us by. I need to move the needle for you from hodling and day trading to this new adventure. If that's all you want to do, this platform is going to increasingly become less viable for you because I'm doing more and you should consider doing the same. Well, folks, that's all I have. And I want to thank each and every one of you for supporting the 3T movement. We're headed to the top. I have an announcement that's going to be coming up very soon for those individuals who went above and beyond for your support. It didn't go unnoticed earlier. I need to talk about that. People who participated in the Legacy Challenge, where you was to buy that book about the gift of grief, where you were to go to the wealth war. And for those who did that, and then after that went and to Indigo Saints page and liked and made a comment onto the top, I got the stats. I got the numbers. So we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to talk about what is going to happen next. And for my members only platform, that is right around the corner. I'm doing some work to finish up some loose ends and I'll be launching that. I already have seen it right now. It's looking good, but I want to make sure that people understand how to leverage it, not just have another place for people to go and spend their money. I want you to be able to utilize this and understand that I am trying to train you in various ways to get you to where you need to get to. But it's up to you to engage actively in your own wealth. Well, thank you, folks. And again, this has been your boy, Underdog Crypto.
Hey, that rocket is intimate to my pockets. Counting the zeros, my G, I'm just waiting to rain in the racks. Yeah, that rocket is blowing up in my pockets. Just look at my balance, more zeros, I'm about to double my racks. Yeah, that rocket is intimate to my pockets. Counting the zeros, my G, I'm just waiting to rain in the racks. Yeah, that rocket is blowing up in my pockets. Just look at my balance, more zeros, I'm about to double my racks. Look at my bank account, I'm about to get rich. Look at your bank account, tell me if you don't wish. I said that I get it now, I said that I get it, I got it now. PRB blowing my bank account, it really ain't safe for work, cause I ain't going back. You tell my boss and I'll call me back.